Utilities Protection Center, this is Jana. We are being recorded. How can I help you?
A notification call to the One Call Center is an investment of time. And although having to answer several questions may seem to require too much time, it can actually pay big dividends. So what happens after the call is made? Where does the information go? And why can't the lines be located on the day the call is made? It can't be that difficult, can it? For some excavators, it may seem like an easy job. After all, the grass usually looks greener on the other side of the fence. But is it? His workday begins at 7 in the morning, and before it ends, he may drive 300 or 400 miles and go another 2 or 3 on foot. His name is Brian, and he's a damage prevention specialist. He works alone, carrying a handful of work orders, or tickets as they're known in the business. Each ticket originates from a call made to the One Call Center by an excavator stating his intention to dig at a particular location. The ticket contains information that will direct Brian to the job site and which utilities may have service lines in that area. His job is to protect those lines and the excavator by locating them and marking their position. Armed with a pipe and cable locator, a few maps, and the meager notes of a ticket, he starts each day with the responsibility of protecting millions of dollars worth of underground cables, lines, and pipes. Progress keeps Brian busy in this often thankless job, and progress driven by a vigorous economy doesn't like to wait. In the haste to build new buildings or bury new lines, older lines may become casualties of progress. Digging into existing utility lines not only disrupts service to customers, but is also extremely dangerous. It costs utility companies and their customers millions each year. These rough marks on the ground are actually important communications to the excavator and represent the collective efforts of One Call personnel, utility companies, locators, and lawmakers. These marks are the front line of defense and damage prevention. Each type of underground service is identified with a different paint color, but the message is the same with them all. Use caution when digging here, leaving the excavator with a key role in the task of protecting himself, the vital underground utility network, and the public it serves.
Our job basically is to keep lines from getting hit. That's our main goal, is to keep the lines going, keep everything going right. Usually, if you know your area pretty good, you could you can run 15 or 20 tickets that day. On a good day, if you get single addresses, everything goes right, you can do 30, 40 tickets if it's, if they're right side by side. It just varies from day to day.
The first ticket directs Brian to a commercial area in the city. A new phone cable is being installed along the street, and the excavator has white striped the route of the new line. The white paint marks are usually the only communication Brian will have with the excavator, and it's always a welcome sight. Working invisibly to each other, the excavator and Brian can speak volumes with a few simple marks.
I think that communication is the key to just about any job. I like to know who I'm doing this work for, and that's a big part of it. It's it's got to be a team effort, or it's not going to work. It's just got to happen.
Gas lines can be as invisible as the fuel they carry, and they are often a challenge to locate. Tracer wires buried with plastic lines are designed to make them easier to find.
Tracer wire on here, but somebody's either weed eated and cut it down here by the ground or pulled it out somehow. They don't actually bury the tracer wires with the gas line. Usually 2 or 3 inches off of it. There it is. You just have to dig around. Like I say, they don't bury them with the plastic, because if lightning strikes a test point, it burns that plastic up. So they put it anywhere from 3 to 6 inches off the gas line. You just have to dig around for a while to find it. Like it's going back down this way. somebody to move some vehicles, looks like.
A dreaded word in utility damage prevention is fiber. Fiber optic cables transmit huge amounts of data, as well as phone services. They are expensive to make and expensive to repair. There's fiber near this job site, but there are no above-ground warning signs to announce its presence. Brian knows it's here only because a member of his team has warned him about it. But he's got to know precisely where it is.
The first job I had this morning was it was a phone job dealer that's put in a phone line about half a block. There's a fiber that runs through that street there. There was no visible warning signs. Aside from the locator tell me that, the locator for that area tell me that the fiber was there when he gave me the ticket. There's no way I would have known that that fiber was there. So I called him, he told me the access point. We had to drive probably, I'd say half a mile or almost a mile to where we could get onto the fiber. It ran pretty good, so we had to drive all the way back. That took some time, but we got the fiber located and it located real good.
The law requires an excavator to call one call at least 3 working days before he plans to dig. This allows time for a facility owner to locate and mark their lines. Some excavators won't make the call. Some will make the call but won't wait for the benefits of the call. A call was made yesterday for a locate at this job, but the work was started this morning.
The gas, I know there's gas comes in on the front and it shows the phone on the back side.
Yeah, we looked at the plans that they had and didn't see anything out here.
What we had run into here was a case where they wanted the job done that day, and the ticket ain't actually due up till 11:30 tomorrow. There was nothing here, but that's something you really don't know about. You get them just about every day. Get somebody wanting to dig, you know, when they call it in, you know, this right here could have turned in real easily into a disaster. They got pretty lucky on it, but that ain't always the case.
An emergency locate request is received and Brian is dispatched across town to meet an employee of the water company.
Emergencies, you know, sometimes they're actually emergencies and sometimes they're not. All depends who it is and you know, how well they've worked with utilities and utility locators. But yeah, you'll get stuff every day that you hadn't planned on getting. We probably get, average locator probably get 10 emergencies a week.
Yeah, probably, well, the crew's at Pleasant Plains right now, so as soon as I can get them back up here, we'll have them on the job site.
Okay, good deal.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
You bet. We'll see you later.
Alrighty.
There's more to being a damage prevention specialist than locating underground utilities. He's a quality control manager and a time management expert, balancing the need to do the job well against the need to do the job quickly. He's a public relations expert, promoting the ideals of safe digging and responsible service to the public. He can comprehend utility engineer prints and read a map while driving. He knows his way around a telephone pedestal, old gas meters, and country roads. He's also a chigger collector and animal trainer.
Prints they're very important. If you ain't got a good print, then it's just a guessing game. You can't, there's no way to know what exactly is there unless you've got a good print. I'll pull the print and I'll look at everything and I'll check the ticket and see what I'm supposed to locate on the job. Before I leave, I'll go ahead and look everything over and I'll make sure that I've located every utility on that ticket. And sometimes, you know, you'll get a utility that's not on the ticket you're supposed to locate. Not all utilities are members of One Call, and I think all utilities should be a member of One Call. It just makes sense. I don't know why they wouldn't.
One of the most important messages an excavator can leave is white striping. It tells Brian exactly where the work will be done and makes the job much easier and the excavator's work much safer. The law sometimes requires this, but common sense always requires it. However, some excavators don't see the value in taking time to mark the work area and the benefits are never realized. Guessing where the digging will take place is less than ideal, and it adds time to this ticket and takes time from the next. Excavators who try to shortcut the system rob the entire industry of time and money and are often victims of others who do the same. The assumed economy of not white striping is easily lost with delays from callbacks and damages.
This one here wasn't too bad, aside from the terminal address and the street being wrong. It was pretty good. They had their white paint down and the drop on the ground. So as long, you know, if we could get at least some of the right information, it helps out a bunch. Of course, when you get all the right information, it works a lot better.
Information is one of the keys to preventing damages, and good directions to the job site are vital. This ticket calls for a locate on Lasso Road, but Lasso is not on the current map. A call to the excavator helps with the directions.
Straight off of WPA Road.
Off of WPA
yeah,
Road?
Yeah, going towards Cord.
Okay.
You turn left off of that, whatever the highway is, going from Newark, going towards Cord.
Okay.
Turn left on WPA, and I'm thinking it breaks off to the left.
Work in rural areas means a lot of travel between tickets, and insufficient information robs Brian of valuable time. The earlier emergency call took an hour from his schedule. Searching for Lasso Road will rob him of another 30 minutes.
Well, you get a lot of bad addresses. It happens all the time. There's signs knocked down and different stuff like that. We get some roads that they've done the 911 system on. They might have changed the name of it, or they might give a named road and it might be a numbered road. It's just stuff like that, and you get on a road, if somebody switched the signs or turned the signs or whatever, and then you're out there looking for a road that's not even there, or it's got a different name on it.
They said they're not going to be there till 5.
They're not going to do the emergency till 5?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll sure take care of it then.
A second emergency call is received. An automobile has struck a utility pole in a town 30 miles away, and a new pole needs to be set. A quick survey of the location shows 2 utility poles that need replacing. One looks as though it was burned by a short in the electrical service, and the other is definitely leaning. But neither shows any sign of a recent automobile accident. Brian has 2 hours before the crew arrives, plenty of time to locate the phone and gas lines for both poles.
These prints are all wrong. Shows stuff in the air here. There's not a phone cable in the air. These boxes, numbers are not on them right. Not matching up. But the only thing you can do on that's start hooking up. Driving down the road and see if you can get some of these numbers to match up.
Locating the phone lines next to the leaning pole doesn't take long. Finding the main gas line will not be as easy.
I'll get here for that dog. Oh. This gas line here. Tracer wire's been cut. We'll go to another house here and see if we can find the main. We got nothing on this one either.
All of the tracer wire signals end abruptly near the street.
So we'll try number 4 or 5. See, that don't make sense. Services run out good. And bam. Nothing, the mains won't run, or you can't find any sign of the gas line even being on either side. So you've got to drive around and just find you a meter and hook up to it, and hopefully she'll run out. We're just gonna get on your gas meter there. We're trying to find the gas line. They've got a pole that's bad signal.
The work crew arrives an hour early, and Brian tells them he has not been able to find the gas. They'll wait. No one wants to dig into a gas main. He doesn't want to hold them up, so he hurriedly checks 3 more meters until he finds a tracer that takes him across the road and by the work crew. Brian has 3 tickets left for the day's schedule. He has time in the morning to finish them within the required 2 working days, but what will that do to tomorrow's schedule? He doesn't know. He'll get those tickets tonight from his fax machine. He'll make his decision on the drive back toward home. Evidence suggests that damage is avoided about 98% of the time if advance notice is given by the excavator. The one-call system works when it's given a chance. Damage prevention can only be accomplished through teamwork, and a team that communicates will achieve its objective. White striping and information given to the one-call center are extremely important in helping Brian and others like him to do their part. The better an excavator communicates, the better chance Brian has in providing a safe digging environment. That's everyone's goal. The job is not easy, but somebody's got to do it.
I get the message.